Hello, Mother. This is Half Mental, the show that's 90% baseball and the other half mental. I am Will Smith.
And I am Randy Arozarena.
We're drinking beers this week. Whoa, your glasses.
I know, man. Crazy. Cheers.
Cheers.
What's your anthem beer you got there, bro? I don't know that can. What is that?
Thanks for asking. It's a super fancy apple cider. That's what it's called.
Cool. I got a PBR in the glass for those who are interested.
Nice.
It's all since I started growing my mustache, all I can buy is PBR when I go to the liquor store. It's like a magnet.
Right. That's all they'll sell to you.
Yeah.
So here we are. We've made it to the championship series.
The Final Four, as I like to call it.
The Final Four. We've got the Rays, and which, by the way, that game 5 was something.
Really something, yeah.
The Rays, who defeated the Yankees, the Astros, who handled the A's, I would say. I mean, they lost one game, but they look pretty good. The Astros are something. Douche Canoe, I said it in the comments. I'll say it again. I was wrong. I thought the Astros were just sort of like riding a weird wave through that first round. But they look legit. And as far as, we can tell, they're not cheating. They're doing it. They're actually like having to like.
There's some people who are starting to like. There are some people who are starting to like dig up like proof that they are still cheating. And let me tell you, Astros fans are not happy about that.
Yeah. Astros fans are
so funny.
Having a hard year.
I mean, they could win the World Series and still be the angriest fan base, I think.
Yeah.
It's wild.
On the National League side, the Braves definitely handled the Marlins.
Yeah.
With ease. And the Dodgers swept the Padres. So there was a good game.
Here we are. I mean, we ended up with
the Padres still remain the little brother of the NL West. Okay, go ahead.
The whole thing was that this postseason was going to, allow a lot of like weird random stuff. And we ended up with really the 3 best teams and the Astros, recent World Series winners. And,
right.
They were the 8 seed. They were under 500. Still not a huge fan that the playoff format allowed them in, but they're not the Brewers from this season. We've got powerhouse teams, which is cool. I'm happy for that.
Dan, do you think, and we are trying to do a quick episode today for a number of reasons. So let's kind of I'm going to get straight to it. Do you think, so there's a lot of odd things that we've seen happening. The Dodgers have been playing at Globe Life Field, which is a giant outfield that just seemingly swallows every baseball off the bat.
Yeah.
There are a lot of hard hit balls in that series that just didn't go out.
Yeah.
So do you think in a way that the Dodgers have some sort of advantage moving forward, having played there? The way the Dodgers have been winning games in the postseason has been kind of encouraging to me. We're not relying on the home run. We're like manufacturing runs.
There probably is a benefit to playing your previous whatever it'll end up being 7 to 10 games in the ballpark, because the World Series is at Globe Life Field.
Yeah.
That has to be a benefit.
After 3 games of the Astros A's, they had 18 home runs between the two of them. And I'm pretty sure there were a lot of home runs in their final game.
Yeah. I think I read that in the AL, the divisional series contained 46 home runs, and in the NL, the divisional series contained 26 home runs. So that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
I would love a dive into whether that's how much of that is ballpark versus how much of it is
right.
Giancarlo Stanton being one of the people who plays in the.
Well, I feel like the Astros have been hitting him out left and right too.
Yeah, totally. I mean, they all have been. Yeah.
But it's interesting the Dodgers will sort of have this, like, I don't know, they'll be used to playing in this park by the time.
Field advantage. Yeah.
I mean, so my pick for the NLCS is the Dodgers, although it does seem like the Braves are going to it seems like the Braves will give us a challenge at least, which
so the Braves, I mean, it's a good matchup.
Yeah.
The Dodgers as a team allowed the least hard hit balls and hit the most hard hit balls. And the Braves were second in both of those categories. So, I mean, it's a great matchup.
Yeah.
I mean, the Braves have allowed 5 runs in 5 games.
Right.
Which is pretty amazing. And will obviously not. I mean, LA is way better than the Marlins, right?
Yeah.
Who were hot and we thought would be cool if they won. But it's gonna be a good series. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's one of those where it's like you could say they're very similar teams as you go through them, but the Dodgers have the edge at pretty much every
right.
Like, yeah, they might have 2 future Hall of Fame outfielders, but the Dodgers are better,
Yeah. I'd like to see the Dodgers actually start pitchers and leave them in, and realize in this series that we can do that. Like, I'm having a really tough time with bullpen games. I know that they work or whatever, but
yeah, I mean, now we've got a potential 7 games in 7 days, though, which is intense during the regular season. I mean, typically there'd be a day off in there, even in a regular season.
Yeah.
So you're gonna see that starting pitcher strength and bullpen strength come through.
Right. A couple just little notes about the National League Division Series, and really, I'm talking about the Padres Dodgers. Game 2 of Padres Dodgers was one of the craziest baseball games I've watched. I think it's in the top 3. It was so back and forth. It got heated. Cody Bellinger made an unbelievable catch.
Yeah.
The whole play.
I like when catches at the wall are truly home run robbers. I think a lot of catches get labeled as robberies when they maybe weren't, even if they're great catches.
Right.
That was that one robbed a home run. 100%.
Yeah. And a huge moment. The Padres would have taken the lead with that.
He was playing center field at the time, right?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And John Boy said this, and so did actually Brandon McCarthy tweeted about it before I even watched the John Boy. But the athleticism on display just in that play is crazy, because Gratterall just throws it effortlessly at 101. Then Tatis barrels up 101 to dead center.
Right. Drives it at 420 feet or whatever.
Yeah. And then Cody Bellinger makes this play. He runs the ball was fading. So he runs this banana route, and he has to turn his shoulders 2 or 3 times. So you're he's on a dead sprint, relocating the ball, jumps and makes the play. I mean, it was unreal. And as John Boy pointed out too, I didn't notice this, but Cody Bellinger's reaction to just hold the number 1 finger up, and he started doing that before his feet hit the ground. He started his celebration.
Yeah, it's
that alone. I can't jump high enough to do anything else before my feet return to the earth.
Yeah, you're focused on both feet hitting the ground at the same time. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to have so many players exhibiting that sort of stuff. I mean, it's great. I mean, baseball is in a great position talent-wise.
And then we'd be remiss not to mention really quick, I know I'm taking up too much time, but the Padres got real upset with the Dodgers after that play.
For getting pretty excited about it.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. I read a deal that was like bat flips and celebrations are a result of playing the game emotionally. And so is getting pissed off when the other team bat flips and celebrate. They are 2 heads of the same monster, right?
Exactly.
And it's okay that people get upset when they celebrate and then also want to celebrate. Like,
yeah, I totally agree. It's just competition. It's like,
yeah, but people act like they're like opposed philosophically, and they're not. They're the same thing.
Yeah, one
like
thing
Tatis was upset to see that because he wanted to be the one celebrating, not because he doesn't want celebration.
One thing I really liked was, so Manny Machado was like definitely leading the charge of being upset, screaming at Gratterall, and then Gratterall blew him a kiss, which was kind of insane.
I mean, and Gratterall is real cool.
He is hilarious, man. But then Gratterall faced Machado at the top of the next inning and got him out, but barely. Machado hit the ball right back at him and went through his legs, actually. And then when Machado ran by, I saw Gratterall put his glove up to his mouth and say something. I was like, oh boy, here we go. But Machado was smiling, So it's like, it's just the heat of the moment.
Yeah.
These guys are professional competitors, like I get competitive when I play like bananagrams, but these guys are doing that. These guys are playing bananagrams on a really big stage.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the American League for a minute.
Okay.
Because Aroldis Chapman is the only pitcher to give up game-winning home runs that allows his opposing team to go to the World Series ever.
Yeah. Well, not the World Series, but advance.
Sorry. Yeah. To lose a playoff series.
Yeah.
And this was against, it's Chris Brousseau, right?
Yep.
So
cool storyline this is.
Yeah, I was going to say, we need like 10 seconds on his story. He was an undrafted free agent in 2016 and then advanced a level every season because he just wouldn't stop hitting. And he plays every position. And he's put himself in a spot where like a great team like the Rays need him. Like they were cool with him in that spot.
Yeah.
against Aroldis Chapman.
Well,
obviously the home run is still very unlikely, but.
And earlier in the year, he's the one that got 100+ mile an hour thrown in his head by Aroldis Chapman.
By Chapman, right? Yeah.
And then he comes up again and it was like don't quote me on this, but it was an insane at bat. It was like 10 pitches.
Yeah.
He fought it off, and then he hit a biggest home run he'll ever hit.
Yeah. I mean, the Rays are for.
Oh, hang on, let me knock on some wood.
Yeah. Yeah, until he's facing Kershaw in the 7th inning.
Yeah. Oh, other big news, Half Mental Faithful. I don't know, especially after today, if I'll even do this, but I purchased tickets to Game 7 of the World Series. And if the Dodgers are in it, and there's a Game 7, and we feel comfortable, we might go to that.
Yeah, there's so many ifs. It's hard to say.
Yeah. Also, real quick plug, for anyone that enjoys this show, you should check out Gray's Life. He's commented on a few of our shows lately, so you can find his channel through that. He's doing some prediction stuff. We should have him on before the World Series to see if he wants to give us his prediction.
Oh, that'd be cool. That'd be fun.
But yeah,
if you'd like to see, so normally you watch 30-somethings behave like 10-year-olds.
Right.
When you watch our show. And if you want to see a 10-year-old do that extra 10% of analysis that you're all craving, go watch Gray's Life.
Go to Gray's Life. Anyway, so other series. More on Yankees.
I don't know about more necessarily. I mean, I introduced myself as Randy Arozarena. He might be the next great player. It's still such a small sample size, it's hard to say, but he's not stopping yet. Their pitching is for real. I think that's going to be the big thing in the.
Randy was a Cardinal, right?
Yeah, he was.
That hurts, huh?
Uh-huh. Especially since we continue to search for good outfielders. It's not like.
And didn't Fernando Tatis Sr. want Junior to be a Cardinal?
I don't know. it's hard to put stock in that. Like,
right.
Sure, that would have been great.
One more thing. Can you imagine if Tatis Jr. was on the White Sox? That would be a very exciting team. But I guess he'd maybe move to second. Or would Tim Anderson second? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, sorry.
But I mean, the Rays can throw out 3 legitimate starting pitchers,
Yeah, and their bullpens. They have tons of weapons in their bullpen.
And I think that's just going to be the difference. I think that's going to be the difference with the Astros. I think that pitching depth is going to shine through.
Yeah.
But I mean, the Astros just keep hitting the hell out of the ball too. Autumn George Springer is one of the greatest postseason performers of all time.
I know.
It's great. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that your prediction then? Rays over the Astros, and how many games?
Yeah. So I've got both series. I think both series are going to be a 6-game, but I think the Astros Rays are going to be like, I think the Astros are going to win like one Zach Greinke start and then one crazy like 14-12 game. But otherwise, it's going to be kind of all Rays. And I expect the Dodgers and Braves to be significantly closer, but competitive games generally. But I think the Dodgers are going to win that one as well.
I almost thought about picking the Astros for Douche Canoe because they are playing really well. So I know Douche Canoe has lost a lot of faith in me, but I just want you to know that I recognize that the Astros are playing well. But I do just think the Rays are going to win. And I think it's the 7-7 scenario. I think the all rookie bullpen of the Astros might finally
it can't work for 3 series in a row. Right?
Yeah.
So I think real quick, I think it's worth saying, like, as far as like compelling World Series, like LA and Houston would be ridiculous. I can't even imagine.
Right. Like I sort
of that would be like. Yeah.
I want that so that we could just stomp them. But if the Dodgers were to lose that, I don't want that.
Yeah, it'd be really bad.
I'd much rather lose a World Series to the Rays.
I think it's worth going back to LA and Atlanta real quick because they're 2 pretty interesting franchises. Like historically, I think they're both pretty well respected franchises.
Mm-hmm.
But the last 25 years of their history is really not super great, right? Dodgers haven't won since '88. The Braves won in '95. So if you look at the last 25 years, the Braves have won their division 15 times and the Dodgers have won it 12 times. So that's a lot of significant success. But recently, obviously the Dodgers have lost to the eventual World Series winner the last 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But the Braves hadn't made it past that first round in like many years as well. It's just interesting. And like one of them is going to get a chance to fix that, right?
Yeah, and I've thought about a lot too how they're both really hot right now. Like they haven't lost a game in the playoffs, so that's going to end for one of the teams tomorrow night, and I think that'll be. I think although that's a Captain Obvious statement, like you do have to deal all of a sudden with a team that is down in the series count for the first time. Like see how they respond to that. You start playing with this urgency, and that can cause issues.
It's always good to win game 1.
I actually think the Dodgers will take care of business in 5 games. And I don't have any lack of respect for the Braves. I think they're good. I just really like what I'm seeing out of the Dodgers right now. Our at-bats are really good. We're not trying to hit home runs. It's kind of a different approach. And we're stealing bases like Mookie Betts and Corey Seager. during a pitching change, planned to do a double steal of second and third and executed it
cool.
on Pomerantz. Like, I feel like Mookie Betts is worth every penny. It's weird. He's
he is.
Another thing about the Dodgers series, which I know this is like a stupid thing to say, but like I was watching Will Smith's at bats and I was like, if he can just keep hitting like this, he's going to have a crazy game.
And I think he was the first catcher ever with 5 hits in a postseason game. Is that right?
And then also the youngest player ever with 5 hits in a postseason game.
Yeah. What was his deal during the regular season? Was he hurt or something? Why?
He had a great year.
Did he? Okay.
He's like
wasn't around.
He's like I think maybe the best offensive catcher in the National League, and then like top 10 hitters in baseball. Like he's good.
Yeah.
The only other thing about this series, real quick, is there's been a lot to do about the Dodgers' 9th inning, and that's not for nothing. Like Kenley Jansen should not be pitching in the 9th inning. But
do you give it to Bruzdal?
I don't think it's as big a deal as everyone's making it, because the Dodgers really do have a loaded bullpen. And so
yeah, I mean, it's 27 outs, right?
Yeah, you just like don't give the I'm almost excited that we're finally to the point where we're like, don't give the ball to Kenley. You know, like,
yeah.
And I love Kenley Jansen, but he's done as a closer. Maybe he can get us a couple outs in the 7th. Great. But I think Dave Roberts gets it. Like, he can't do it anymore. He's not the guy to go to when the game's on the line with 3 outs to go. And so I almost think that becomes like an advantage to the Dodgers. Like, we know that now. And we've got
other guys. And if managers cannot be married to the idea of a closer and make choices based on other things, that can become an advantage.
Yeah. So my next thing is that I think the Dodgers will be like closer-less. I think you'll see Bruzdal, Gratterall get some closes or saves. I'm sorry. You'll see Blake Trinan, maybe Joe Kelly if he can control the baseball.
Nobody wants Joe Kelly in the game.
God, he sure made things.
I know he got some big outs, but
he walked 2 to load the bases in the 9th with 2 outs. That was horrifying.
Yeah. In relief of Kenley, right?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that was quite the collapse. But yeah, so Dodgers in 5, and I'm going to say, I hate doing this, but I like your Rays in 6. If maybe for sake of mixing it up, that series goes 7 games, I'll say Rays in 7 for my official prediction. But just so everyone knows, I'm a big fan of Rays in 6. You heard it here first.
You heard it here first. Holt, big fan.
Also, my lovely wife is watching the children right now, but I did tell Ann that I thought the Dodgers were going to sweep the Padres.
You heard it here right now.
You heard it here first, several days after the series has been over.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Enjoy the championship series.
Yeah. Gray's Life, consider this an official invite.
Cool. Cheers.
I just screamed that. Bye.